champions and we deserve this. We rose to the moment, and here we are.
Welcome, November the 29th to the Long Distance Playbook. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well as I did. Chris, how was yours?
Oh, my Thanksgiving was awesome.
Jeff, how was yours?
My Thanksgiving was fantastic. How about yours, Jay?
I can't barely move right now. Woo.
All right. I'm glad everybody had a good Thanksgiving. You got some turkey, got some ham, everything else, right? We're going to move right along. We're going to change the topic to shout outs to honors of the week. And we're going to talk about Mr. Rodney Rogers, former NBA player. He recently passed at the, I would say, young age of 54.
Yeah, 54, yeah.
So our condolences go out to his friends, his family, his loved ones. All right.
That was a man child on the court.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I remember seeing him when I was young at Wake Forest. Boy, he was a problem.
You got a guy, I think he was 6'8", built like he was a
linebacker.
Greek god.
Like 6'8", 250. He was a big boy.
And he was muscle.
Yes, sir.
He was the first of that generation. So, yeah, rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right. We're going to move along. The Gotham FC are the champions of the National Women's Soccer League in the United States. Let's give them a round of applause. All right.
Jeff, what you got on the...
Yeah, so well done to Gotham FC, who are the champs of the NWSL. They upset the second seed Washington Spirit. Rose Lavelle with the winner in the 80th minute. She also received the MVP. You know, that was Gotham's second chip. Congratulations to them. Again, bottom seed in the playoffs. Took on all others, came home with the chip. So MLS. So MLS playoffs continue tonight with the conference finals. Inter Miami plays NYCFC, and San Diego FC takes on Vancouver. Again, personally, going for Vancouver because got friends there, but it should be really interesting. And then the cup final takes place December 6th, I believe. So looking forward to watching those games today. What else we have going on in soccer? So the NCAA Soccer College Cup from both men and women is ongoing right now. The women are almost down to the Final Four. The winner of TCU versus Vandy will end up playing FSU as a perennial powerhouse. And then Stanford takes on Duke. I think Stanford and Notre Dame were the top two seeded teams throughout the season. So almost down to the Final Four for the women's Soccer College Cup. For the men, they're into the third round. There's been upsets everywhere. 5 of the top 6 seeds, according to RPI, are gone. So Princeton, Vermont, UVA, who was probably the best team that I saw personally all year long, SMU, and San Diego, all gone in the first couple rounds. Bryant is the only top 6 team remaining. For me, the third round's highlighted by a rematch between High Point and Georgetown. They played earlier this season in August, and High Point won 2-1. I think that's going to be a game to watch today. And then finally moving into the European leagues, pick a couple games from each league to kind of highlight. In Germany, Bayern Leverkusen versus Borussia Dortmund. That's number 3 versus number 4 on the table. So both teams coming off impressive Champions League wins during the midweek. Leverkusen beat Man City 2-0, and Dortmund beat Villarreal 4-0. In Serie A in Italy, you have Roma versus Napoli. So that's number 1 versus number 3 in the table. And Napoli are last year's champs. So I'm expecting a really good game there. In French League One, you have PSG versus Monaco. And then, of course, the Northwest London derby between Chelsea and Arsenal, number 1 versus number 2 in the Premier League. Chelsea coming off a huge 3-0 win against Barcelona in midweek in the Champions League. Also welcoming back Cole Palmer. And then Arsenal also had an impressive win in midweek, beating Bayern Munich 3-1. So a lot of soccer on this weekend, a lot of great games to catch. Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you, Jeff, for those updates and those highlights and everything. Jeff, question for you. Who do you see coming out on MLS right now? Who do you?
I'm gonna tell you, I want Vancouver to win, but Inter's hot. I mean, it's hard to pick against Messi. He is so clutch, man. He's so, we're always talking about chess versus checkers. He is so many steps, even at his advanced age, he is so many steps ahead of everybody else. So when the game is on the line, he's always making the right decisions. And he contributes to, whether it's goals or assists, he's always clutch. So all he needs is his supporting cast, everyone to do their job. It's hard to bet against him. All
right. Do you think Inter Miami last year didn't win because maybe he came in the middle of the season? He didn't come in at the beginning of the season last season.
No, I think the problem they had last year was the team was kind of they had bits and pieces, but they didn't have a team that complemented Messi. Right. Okay. Messi's not going to do, at this point of his career, he's not going to do a lot of defensive work. He's not going to be tracking back. So you have to have other players in the team that have that motor, that have that engine, that are going to do the dirty work. We used to call them water carriers. They're going to be the guys that are going to allow him to do what he does best and not have to waste a bunch of energy on the defensive side of the ball. And I think they filled that in with a couple players that they brought in. And then you have another season of familiarity between the players, knowing where Messi wants the ball, how he wants the ball. Yeah, they're going to be – it's hard to pick against them right now.
I got you. Champions League, like you mentioned earlier, Champions League is underway. And, I mean, just keep eyes out for it, right? Who you got? You think Real Madrid can repeat, or you think there's other teams out there that can give them a run for their money?
Oof, this is going to pain me to say. I can't say it. It's anyone's game right now because everyone's been beaten, except for Arsenal. Every team has been beaten. So, but Arsenal are perennial choke artists, so I can't pick them, right? But they just beat Bayern Munich, who I would always pick to at least make the semifinals. You got Real Madrid, you have Barcelona, but Chelsea just walked right through Barcelona. Real Madrid does not look like, at least from a defensive perspective, they don't look like the team that we've seen in past years. But they have some players coming back, namely Antonio Rudiger, who I think he brings that attitude. He brings that defensive force for that team. So, and I think Militao should be back as well. So I think they could be, but there's no team. PSG, when everyone's healthy, it'd be hard to beat them again. When everyone is healthy on that team and they're on their A game, they just have talent in so many different places. So if you twist my arm right now, I'd probably say PSG.
Oh, okay. I like it. All right, we're going to move on to yes, sir.
Just so we all know that NBA and college basketball is and women's college basketball is starting to get hot and heavy. So just understand, yes, this is still the beginning of the season, but in about 2 days we're going to be rolling into December, and college basketball and the NBA will be in full swing, ready to roll. Now, on to Europe.
All right. So this is just highlight. We're not going to discuss it on the show, but keep your eyes open, your ears, like keep it glued to the news. Lane Kiffin is supposed to make his decision sometime today. Is he staying? Is he going? Let's sit back and watch. Let's find out, right?
I'm glad you brought that up
What you got?
because you got a guy who built a team from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody expected Ole Miss to be as dominant as they've been since he's been there.
Right.
And he did it. He had his little bumps and bruises throughout his career, but he has proven himself to be a great college coach.
Yes,
A
absolutely.
great college coach. So whatever school, because I know Florida is moving on from him,
Yes.
but LSU still is a possibility. And would I want to see him move? As a fan, no. But economically, he probably going to move. And what I mean by economically, it's not about the players; it's
Mhm.
about the money.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that's a good topic.
I mean, I know he sought advice from his former coaches of Nick Saban and Pete Carroll. So we'll see what kind of influence they have. Only people know what they only know what the conversations that they've had, But I say we stick around and let's find out. And of course, no matter what, regardless of the decision that he is going to make, right? Some people are going to dislike his decision no matter what, right? Because if he decides to stay at Ole Miss, then all the schools that wanted him are going to be like, oh, whatever, And then if he decides to leave, that's going to be better for Ole Miss. So it's a hit and miss, It's a lose-lose situation. Right? You're not going to make everybody happy, but he's got to do what's best for his family and what he thinks is right.
Yeah.
Let's sit back and see. It should be announced today, though. So,
there he goes.
absolutely. All right. We're going to move on over to our NCAA. So, we had our week last week, and the projections came out. This was the current top 12.
Prior to last night.
However, exactly. Thank you, Chris. This bracket is going to completely change because of last night. And we'll get further into that in a little bit. All right. Now, last week, here's our stats. Chris had a good week. Good job. Jay and myself, not so good. Jeff, perfect. However, that left me in the lead by one game.
Oh, don't forget about Mr. Drakeford.
Oh, and Mr. Drakeford, absolutely our guest, went 6-1, which is rather great. He brought the guest overall up to 12-5.
Yeah.
So, absolutely, everybody except myself and Jay had a great week. We just had a good week, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's okay, Jeff. It's okay.
Yeah, I gotta set that bar a little bit higher. I gotta set that bar a little bit higher.
We then had our production meeting during this week, and we picked some games that have already been played. All right. So you want to hit the next slide? So far, Chris is 4-1, and Jay is 5-0.
What?
3-2.
What?
4-1. So as of right now, Jay has now taken first place at college. Look at Jay.
He'll give it back for the end of the weekend. Not even worried about it.
The funny part is he gonna do safe picks this week for the rest of the week, so he can stand first.
Now, just so everybody's tracking,
Everybody think.
I'm gonna call the teams, right? And You just acknowledge the team that you picked. So across the house on Friday, everybody on the show picked Ole Miss. On the Georgia at Georgia Tech, everybody on the house picked Georgia. Indiana at Purdue, everybody had picked Indiana. At the Texas A&M at Texas, Jay was the only one to pick Texas.
And why did I pick Texas?
Remind us.
Because it's a Manning special. It's a Manning trait. If the game means nothing, they're gonna show out. Texas was gonna beat them.
Actually, that game did mean something.
Yeah, to A&M, not to Texas.
No, it actually did. It does mean something to Texas too, though. But
they're trying.
They're trying. They have to win.
Texas has to have the right pieces fall into place for them to be effective. Yes. Yeah. All right. Our next game was Temple at North Texas, and I'm the only one that went with Temple, so I took that loss. It's okay. It's okay. All right.
We told you that, though. We told
you
that game wasn't going to be close.
I know.
He was reaching.
I was 100% reaching. I was hoping North Texas would fall off and it would shake up things a little bit, but it didn't work out to my favor.
He was reaching.
The Texas A&M Texas though, that was my second loss, and that I didn't. Jay, you're the only one that saw it. Congratulations.
He saw it. I saw it. I just didn't believe it.
Didn't call it.
It didn't call it.
But I think we all saw the Georgia at Georgia Tech. That was a closer game, 16-9, than what a lot of people expected.
Well, we did say it was going to be close.
Yeah.
We knew it wasn't going to be a rout.
And then the Ole Miss.
I didn't know it was going to be that boring, though. That game was tough.
And then the Indiana at Purdue, Indiana just straight up.
Oh, we
destroyed them.
That's BTA. That was BTA.
Yeah. Which they have secured their spot into the Big Ten championship by doing that.
And secured their spot in the playoff.
Absolutely. I think no matter what happens in the Big Ten championship, they still make playoffs because they'll be a one-loss team. And
even if they are a one-loss team.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. If they're because to me it's going to be Ohio State and Indiana. And then both those teams are going to get into the playoffs automatically. Right? So, and then Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Ole Miss, I was having a little problems in the second quarter. I was watching that game.
Yep.
But they pieced it together and they got it going.
Yeah, they hit the gas in the third quarter, didn't look back.
Yeah, absolutely. But we, Mississippi State's improved from last year, so it's going to be interesting to see how well they go forward for next year.
The biggest thing I appreciate about that game was I don't know if it was first or second quarter, but a little fight broke out, and there was some punches thrown, and they didn't eject anybody, and I was like, good, because you understand it's a rivalry game. You understand that them records meant nothing because Mississippi State came out early in that game and they were giving Ole Miss everything that they wanted. So I was glad the referees didn't sit there and want to become the main attraction and start kicking players out.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let them play ball. Tensions are high. Got it. Let's keep going, right? All right. You want to keep going, or you want to take a commercial?
No, keep going. We got BYU and.
So we also picked two other games, right? But that was my snafu. I thought they were going to be playing on Friday night, but they didn't. All right.
But those two games are actually very important.
So we got Texas Tech at West Virginia. We have all picked Texas Tech. All right. And then we got UCF at BYU. And we all have picked BYU. So we're going to see how this unfolds today.
So here's the funny part about
you say it's important. Why is it important?
So here's the funny part about these two games, right? Today, if BYU wins, they're going to solidify themselves in the Big 12 championship game.
Okay.
Texas Tech wins. They are in the Big 12 championship game.
Okay.
But here's the key. Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's going to lose.
Well, yeah.
But both of them probably can make the playoff, which will push out Alabama or a 2-loss team, Miami. Right? They're going to push them out of the playoffs.
Okay.
Almost should be almost guaranteed.
They won't push Alabama out.
Actually, they will. If Alabama loses in the championship game, they're going to be a 3-loss team. And BYU played a strong schedule. So did Texas Tech. That's going to be a problem for.
So play this out. You think that the committee would take a 2-loss BYU team over a 3-loss Alabama team?
All you got to do is look at what happened last year.
I'm asking. They always have a draw to bring names.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, I never trust them to do the right thing.
Well, they got a bad. You got to remember, Alabama got a bad loss. Go ahead, Jay.
Last year, what happened when everybody was surprised that Alabama didn't make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and me and Chris went back and forth about Alabama last year, and it was like, oh, ain't no way they're gonna, not allow Alabama to be in the playoffs. And nope, they were out.
If you look, you got to remember
last year. The problem is, it's not really last year. It was 2 years ago that they decided to bring Alabama and Georgia in and left Florida State out before they changed the top 12.
And I'm glad you said that, Jeff, because guess what? Florida State beat who at the beginning of the year?
Alabama. First game of the season. Mason, I didn't bring that up, by the way.
It's all right, Jeff.
But here's the thing.
Sitting in the same room with me.
That has now, if the season for FSU would have finished out strong, and they wouldn't have made the playoffs, but they were still in the top 20, we would have a different conversation right now. That loss wouldn't be so bad for Alabama. But since they're way out of the top 25, that became a bad loss for Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a key.
That was leading the witness, Chris.
I know. I set you up. My bad. Judge, strike that from. But when you're looking at these teams, like the teams, and this is one thing I do like about the 12-team playoff system, is because now your small teams can get in, and they can make a difference.
Absolutely.
And that's what's going to be happening, because it's a possibility James Madison might get in.
So let me ask you this, though. Is it good for college football if a small team gets in and they get time out? Go ahead. If they get in and get beat by 70.
Yes.
Feel great.
Oh, here's what I'm going to say, though, because if that's what happens, you get a small team in, they get bumped by 70. The very next year, that's the next small team that's supposed to get in won't.
They may not get in.
Right.
Okay. Can we just talk about the elephant in the room? Can we just go ahead and just get it out? The elephant in the room is college wants to be NFL really bad. And we know the NFL has allowed division winners with losing records to still host a playoff game.
Host a game.
Yes.
So the college, they're like, you know what? NFL's a billion dollar company, ain't it? Whoa, maybe if we incorporated some of their standards when it comes to allowing lesser teams the chance, because guess what? It promotes fairness that, hey, we're going to step aside and we're going to let these games decide on the field. Let them take their butt whooping because they're talking trash like, oh, we can compete. Well, guess what? We're going to put you on the stage.
You
And
got
we're
to
going to let
prove that
compete.
you can compete.
Yes, and then once you get smacked down, then we'll say step to the side.
Well, I wouldn't say that though. I wouldn't say that, Jay. I would say it gives more of a level playing field, even though they're not athletically going to compete all the time with these teams.
I would say this because some of those you always get one of those 2 or 3 players that like you didn't hear of or you never seen, and all of a sudden like, wow, who's that guy? He really a punt returner, a receiver, a linebacker who knocked somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get another opportunity to showcase the talent across the country that you normally wouldn't see.
Right. I agree. So to answer your question, Jeff, yes, it is good for football. It is good if Tulane, James Madison, San Diego State, right? These other colleges that aren't sort of big name colleges, right? I mean, they're Division I still, but it lets them have the opportunity to showcase their talent. Now, when I say that, they can't be a 7-3 and be a conference champion.
So, but
James Madison is right now a 1-loss team.
Yep.
Right. So a 1-loss James Madison, and if they win their conference championship, they'll be a 1-loss team, right? To me, they deserve the opportunity to showcase their talent because anything can happen on a Saturday.
I agree with you guys for the most part. That 1-loss JMU team over a 2-loss SEC team, I don't know. But
over a 3-loss SEC team,
3-loss,
yes,
and see it probably,
and they didn't go to a conference championship or anything else, you know.
But see, look,
you got to take those variables and factors.
I agree.
So here's the reasoning, right? Here's good reasoning. When you have a 1-loss non-power conference team, and they're trying to get in, like UCF a few years back, right? Who had a very, very strong team, and they got bumped out. They went undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
Right? You don't know what could happen.
No.
So you need to give those smaller colleges, smaller conferences a chance, to get in.
Yeah. And I would like to piggyback on that too. If they lose or whatever, if they get into this playoffs, think about what it does for recruiting. Hey, you know what? We're a small school, but guess what? With you on the team, we made it here last year, but you could be the difference in our team, and we could win that first round game. And the recruiting is a whole lot better for those schools if they believe that they have a legit shot of making the playoffs.
Hey, look at Indiana, right? Indiana has always been known as a basketball school. Signetti comes in, he uses the transfer portal, rebuilds his whole roster last year, right? Gets them into the playoffs. They did not win. But what did they do? They took that momentum into this year. They're still undefeated, right? They're going into the conference championship because they didn't get to do that last year. Right? But one thing a lot of people don't realize is they did it during COVID too. And they didn't get in because Ohio State had 1 loss, but they had a COVID game that they had to cancel. So they had a COVID loss that they had to cancel. And caused them not to get into the conference championship. So these are showing that teams are changing how they're processing team games. Right. So before we make the rest of this week's picks, we're gonna take a small commercial break. We'll be right back. And we're back. It is time for our weekly picks of our college football this week. As you can see, we had a transformation during the commercial break. He's calling now. He's basically trying to say Alabama better win today.
Oh, 100%.
You know, I'm a War Eagle fan. War Eagle, baby. So, what's the first game on the list?
First game on the list. We're going to go with Virginia Tech at Virginia.
I'm going to go last on this one because
I'm going to take Virginia. I'm going to go first. I'm taking Virginia. Right? I think they win this game and they secure themselves in the ACC championship game.
So I'm gonna go second, and I'm gonna leave the two Virginians to fight it out at the back. You know, because they've been saying this since they, you know, we've been running. They're gonna choke. I just don't think it's this week. I think Virginia gonna go ahead and get this W.
So Jeff said he's gonna go last.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, you went to Virginia Tech. You know how it is. They choke a lot. Virginia chokes a lot. When you have two chokers going against each other, it could be a tie, but in football.
It can't be a tie.
Not
college.
Not in college.
They're
No
not gonna
college tie.
So who is the best kicker on the team? Does Virginia Tech have the best kicker or the Cavaliers? Because it might come down to a kicking competition.
Okay.
So I got the Cavaliers.
All right. So Brent Pry was fired like week 3 for the Hokies, right?
Yeah.
And so they're 3-8. So you got the Hokies at 3-8. And last year, I think both teams were like 5-6, and they played each other, and whoever got that 6th win was going to get a bowl game. And I believe Tech won that game last year. So now going into this year, Tech's not going to get a bowl game. UVA's trying to make it to the ACC championship. Tech's about to try to play spoiler. Not going to happen. UVA. Virginia's going to win. Yep. UVA's going to win by a touchdown.
Misdirect. Us Virginians, we do that a lot.
Hey, for this game right here, absolutely.
Look, he may be a Virginia Tech fan because that's where he went, but he also knows reality when picking a team. So, all right. Our
That's
next,
okay. Both teams are going to have an opportunity to choke.
they will.
That's
will.
So the team that don't choke the last don't win it, right?
Or the team that doesn't choke this week chokes next week.
Good point.
Okay. All right. I like it. I mean, because one's going to go to the ACT championship game, or one's going to get booted from the ACT championship game. So let's see. Right? I mean, Jay, you say Virginia doesn't win. The best way to do it is if Virginia Tech beats Virginia, they spoil Virginia's season. Right? Because they definitely will not be in the playoffs then.
That's too kind. It won't happen this week.
No. They don't want to break people in Charlottesville. They don't want to break their spirits quite yet. It's not close enough to Christmas.
I like it. All right, our next game. Power hitters, big rivalry every single year. These two colleges hate each other. They're in 2 different states. We got Ohio State at Michigan.
I'm going last because that's my conference.
Look, this game right here, can Michigan play spoiler to Ohio State?
They're not going to be a spoiler.
Well, a one-loss team.
They're not going to get there in.
But regardless of the records, right, these teams always play hard against each other. It doesn't matter if one's one loss or one win and the other one's undefeated. They're going to play the hardest against each other. These two schools hate each other. I hate to say it. I'm going to go Michigan.
What? Oh, boy. Hey. All right, let me go next. Hey,
that's just what I'm going for. Go, Jeff.
Unless Charles Woodson, unless Desmond Howard, unless Braylon Edwards, Tom Brady, Tyrone Wheatley, and one of my personal, because I like saying his name, Tim Biakapatuka, unless they showing out for Michigan, ain't no way they beat Ohio State this weekend.
Okay, so you're taking Ohio State.
All day.
Jay, what you got?
Twice on Saturday.
Okay, so I'm a huge Michigan fan. They're the reason why I was watching college football, just so they can beat down Notre Dame, they could beat down USC, and they could finally beat down Ohio State. And we had a long drought until Jim Harbaugh came back. Jim Harbaugh came down, and Jim Harbaugh was a true blue Michigan guy as well. They said they beat them last year, which they were underdogs last year against Ohio State. And then that's when Ohio State turned their season around, because I didn't say this, but they were talking about firing the Ohio State coach after Michigan beat them. They upset them. Mm-hmm. So guess what? Jim Harbaugh is going to be on the sideline today. Guess what? It's not going to help.
It's not going back.
All right, Chris.
So the coach at Ohio State is 0-5 against Michigan. He has never beaten since he's been the head coach there.
Harbaugh.
Last year, and I'm telling you, last year the Michigan team was not even close to the talent that Ohio State had. They played out of their mind, and they beat them.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they got some things working finally with Michigan. Ohio State is just a monster. And you know, and the thing is, word on the street is they're getting tired of losing to Michigan. They don't care about the national championship. They just don't want to lose to the team up north. So I'm going to go with the Ohio State University. I think they break the streak this year. I think we're going to get a W by Ohio State.
Okay. All right. Our next game. Jay, you're going to go last on this one. Our next game is the Miami Hurricane at Pittsburgh. I'm going to go ahead and tell you who I'm taking because, and rightfully so, right? I'm taking Miami. I think they have more talent than Pittsburgh. However, Pittsburgh is going to be fighting for this because if they win, they can go to the ACC. So, but I'm taking Miami. Chris or Jeff?
Man. Miami is playing for playoff hopes.
Yes.
They only got 2 losses. Pittsburgh got to win in order to get a shot, meaning they have to win and then win the ACC championship game to get in. I think that's a little too much for them. I'm going Miami.
Okay.
All right. Well, if you recall last week, somebody picked Pitt to upset Georgia Tech. Somebody on this panel picked Pitt to beat Georgia Tech. Same person that went undefeated in college picks.
Absolutely.
So this week.
Who's that?
So this week, it ain't going to happen. Miami going to roll over Pitt. Ain't going to happen. Miami.
Can't go with it twice, huh?
Yeah, hey, that's it. That was their one and done.
All right, Jay, what you got? And the reason why I said you go last because you've been talking about Miami all season.
Okay.
Should they fire their coach?
Oh.
No. This right here. Miami's in the start of something. Now, what it is, we don't quite know yet. So I don't think he's in a position who's going to be getting fired anytime soon. But what I will say is this. That Philadelphia game, the Eagles, and you can see how the weather played a factor in the game. Now, I took a look at the weather. It's only supposed to be 32, 33 degrees. That's perfect for having Miami come up to Pittsburgh. It was kind of giving me a little. I wanted to check the forecast before I did pick this game. And you know, Florida teams don't do well in cold weather. They're right around that 30, 28, degree weather mark. That's when their winds start to go down. They just don't like that type of weather. It's just the southern teams coming up north is a problem. Pittsburgh had a big win last week. I'm going to have to go with Pittsburgh on this game, just because it seems like this is going to be their time to win for me.
You should have listened to me last week. Last week was the week for them.
Well, in the words of Mark McGuire, the past is the past, and the present is the present. I'm here to talk about the
future whooping they're going to get is the future whooping they're going to take.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are going to be pretty tight. I think it's going to be by a field goal. It might even be an overtime game, and I think them playing at home is going to be a huge difference for Pittsburgh. I got Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right, we'll move right along to our next game. And a lot of people may question why we had this game on the show, but we were talking about them earlier, right? James Madison at Coastal Carolina. Can Coastal Carolina upset James Madison's chances of getting into the college playoffs?
No.
Absolutely not.
So you're going with James Madison too, Jeff?
JMU is they're gonna beat them by 4 or 5 touchdowns. They're gonna stomp Coastal Carolina.
I'm taking James Madison as well.
Uh-oh.
Are you looking at me?
Absolutely.
So JMU, James Madison has come a long way. I spent many games on that field, and like with summer camps and everybody from the state of Virginia coming down there. My old buddy Dennis Stewart used to go down there with me. I'm not sure if you heard of Dennis Stewart. He was the fastest man in Virginia. So
that was your age.
Okay, all right, Pops. You 2 years old.
Not my age. Not my age. I was the Rocket.
Come on, man. Don't speak blasphemy on this program. I know it's not Sunday, but you still don't do it on Saturday. You know doggone well you were not faster than no Dennis Stewart.
Hey, you better ask about me. Look. Go ask Dwayne. Go ask Corey.
Anyway, we ain't finna talk about our past heroics. What's your pick?
Okay, my pick is James Madison. I got him.
All right, good. So everybody's taking James Madison across the board. All right, our next game, we have Alabama at Auburn. Does Auburn get to I think they got a new tree out in front of the stadium. Do they get to throw the toilet paper over it and everything? I'm not sure. Right? So my pick should be unspoken. It's right there.
Yeah, I mean, right? It should be, but didn't you just go against your team a couple weeks ago?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I picked Bama. I think I'm not impressed by either of the quarterbacks that Auburn plays. I know Bama hasn't run the ball as well this year, but I think they got too many playmakers. I think Bama's they'll beat Auburn.
Chris or Jay, heads or tails? Who wants to go?
Okay, I'll go ahead and get it over with. I got Alabama rolling up Auburn by 10 or more.
This game is like Ohio State versus Michigan.
Yeah, it is. It's a big rivalry.
Pick six. Anybody remember that?
Yep.
Anybody remember the field goal that fell short?
That's what we're talking
about. Pick six.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm War Eagle. Is the board gonna call speed out to the field side So, crucial first down. I got to roll with Alabama. I hate to say it.
Across the house. Now I just hope they win. I hope y'all didn't jinx them. I hope they win.
Oh, we
All
would
right.
be the jinx. Oh, we got it.
Well, I'm a fan no matter what.
It's the non-Alabama fans that are the jinx for Alabama. That's what.
Well, hey, win or lose, I'm still gonna be an Alabama fan. So just like you on your Cowboys, right?
That's it.
Hey Mason, any
What you got?
rituals you use to help kill all the bad mojo about teams playing your Alabama team?
Well, they don't need it this week because I'm telling you, Auburn.
Look, this is not going to be a walkover game, guys.
And then they're not in Tuscaloosa this week.
No, we're not. Look, and if anybody wants to play sport, Auburn's the best at it, right? Against us. But and if we lose, this is really going to shake up everything else in the SEC, how everything's panning out. So watch this game. It's going to be huge anyways, but the outcome is going to determine a lot of factors going on right now in the shuffle of the playoffs. All right, our next game, we've got Oregon going a little north, and they're playing some Washington Huskies.
Oregon.
Well, okay.
We ain't even going to discuss.
He just said that.
It's
Oregon.
Washington
Oregon
is terrible against tough defenses, man. So Washington,
Oregon,
they scored 6 against Ohio State, 7 against Michigan, 10 against Wisconsin. Oregon.
I agree. I'm taking Oregon. I leave you, Mr. J.
Whew. These games are going to be tighter than we think they are. Special teams, defense. You know what? They're having problems scoring on the offensive side of the ball. You know what? You pin a team deep. You get a short field. You get up 30 yards, 40 yards to get into the end zone. You know, Washington could come away making this very close. I think Oregon probably wins by a late field goal at best. So I got Oregon.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all, sneaky player on Oregon. Sadiq, the tight end. He's a man child.
Yeah. They just got to – we'll see how they play them. All right. Our next game. Once again, this might be a game where people are like, why y'all talking about this? But Tulane is currently ranked 12th in the playoff bracket. So we got Charlotte at Tulane. Does Charlotte upset Tulane?
Wait. Is it or is it by how much that Tulane wins by?
That's the question.
That's the question. It's the green wave all day. Absolutely.
All day.
All right.
You know, being a 49er means something.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. All right, I got Tulane.
What was you going to say?
Nothing.
We don't want to hear that crap.
49ers. Mm-hmm.
I am also taking Tulane. And then that's going to be interesting for how JMU and Tulane and how the committee really looks at these teams as well, right? So our next game, our last college game, Notre Dame at Stanford.
We don't even need to talk about it.
Now, at the beginning of the season, hold on. At the beginning of the season, Jay was calling
for us.
The coach is being fired.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right? But now, they in the playoff bracket.
Look at me now.
You know?
Look at me now. And he's from Virginia, too.
He can say what you got, you know? So, I want to start this off with Jay. Jay, does Notre Dame go into Stanford and lose and he get fired? Or does Notre Dame continue their relevance into the college playoffs?
They ride the love train.
I want to hear Jay on this one.
You know what? This is old school Notre Dame football. Run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, play tough defense, And every once in a while, the quarterback might throw the ball for a touchdown, but we're not there to watch him. We'll watch them see that good running back. So, Buddy Love, Dr. Love, Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a matter of whatever the point spread is. I'm taking the over Notre Dame.
You saying like Notre Dame by 30?
30 plus, probably.
Got you. Look, I think that team from Indiana stays in the playoff bracket with a big win. So I'm going Notre Dame. What you got?
I already said it.
Notre Dame. All right. Commercial break.
All right, we'll be right back in 3 minutes. Going on a little short 3-minute commercial break. We are back. I want to thank Bugatti Visions for all our advertisements. All right. If you are a veteran and you have it on veteran-owned business and you would like to get some more advertisement, please send us a message to longdistanceplaybook@gmail.com and we will gladly get with you and get you added to our advertisement. So it's down to Sunday. Everybody take their swig because Thanksgiving was ugly for a lot of us this week.
Yeah, but what happened last week?
Well, let's talk about last week first.
Let's talk about last week first.
Oh, see, Jeff wants to talk about last week.
Jeff wants to talk about last week. As he he stumped a mud hole in all of us this week. We even though he's the last man coming in, and so he missed those tough weeks. So he came out this week with a nice week.
Look,
he still got that. He still got Similac behind his ear though.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, as you can see, the newest member to the cast is already showing the old heads how it's supposed to be done. Second week on, and he goes undefeated. I have one regret. I wasn't in Florida, so I didn't get a chance to place any of those bets. You realize how big of a parlay that would have been?
We understand. Believe me, over here in Germany, we understand.
Yep.
So just so you know.
However, we all didn't do bad.
No.
Our guests included.
Man, he is look, we might have to make him a permanent. He is kicking this week. He is making it look good for the guests.
Yes.
So, go ahead and write it down.
Well, so right now you have Chris and myself tied for first. Jay, you're about 4 games behind, and this is as of the games of last week on Sunday, right? About 4 games behind. But I have a feeling, Jay, something's going to shake up, right? And then Jeff with a strong 13-2. Percentage-wise, Jeff, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Got to give it to you, right? But now, then Thanksgiving happened, right, Chris?
Thanksgiving happened.
Oh, Thanksgiving happened. So we had some turkey. We watched some football. And oh, my word, look what happened. Chris had a bad day. Jay had a bad day. I went horrible. And Jeff got his first loss. Okay, Jeff. So now Chris is ahead of me by a game. Jay, he's back in the fight. Look, I'll be honest. I got all 4 of my games wrong. Ready? So, on Thursday, Eagles at the Cowboys. Jeff was the only one to pick Jeff and
me.
Jeff and Chris both picked the Cowboys. Myself and Jay did not.
Mm-hmm.
Packers at the Lions. Jeff was the only one to pick the Packers. Bengals at the Ravens. Jay was the only one to pick the Bengals. And then Bears at the Eagles. We all lost that one.
So I'm glad we're going to bring that game up last. For those that watched, I felt like I watched Detroit play anybody. Because guess what? That was horrible. All kudos goes out to the Bears. They said we're gonna run the ball, and we're gonna run the ball, and we're gonna run the ball, and all else fail. Guess what we're gonna do? Run the ball, and they just punished Philly with that run game, and then made some opportunity turnovers.
Yep.
How many tush pushes we seen where there was a fumble from the Eagles this season?
I think that was
last season.
Right.
Dude, he went in, and it was funny. You look at the DB going in and pulling the ball away from Jalen Hurts. Right? And you say, well, why can't everybody else do that? First problem with that situation was the offensive line got stood up.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever made them stand up.
That offensive line is a shadow of what they've been in years past.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now you got, you had that little situation where these players, they're like, hey, if you stand him up, I'll go in there and rip the ball out. Now there's a way to stop the tush push.
Yep.
Stand him up, Rip it out.
Gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. And I'm gonna say this because I want y'all to understand how trustworthy of a partner I am. My record to date for this week is not 3-1. It is in fact 2-2. I picked the Eagles to beat the Bears.
Yes.
I got the Packers right. I got the Cowboys right. I got the Ravens wrong. I got the Eagles wrong. I'm in fact 2-2 instead of 3-1.
See, that's good honesty. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's on me.
I don't want any excuses for when I whoop y'all. I don't want any excuses. That's it.
Because you know what? That guy named Jay, I don't know if you know him that well. He wouldn't have said nothing. He just let it roll out like it was.
So that brings you to 15-4, Jeff. But that's okay. Your percentage is still great.
So I am not. Just so we understand, my only win from Thursday and Friday was the Cowgirls.
I got 0.
I told you. We were talking about it beforehand. So,
but let me explain why I went with the Cowgirls over Kansas City.
Okay.
I have to. Tony Chokmo, because that's what I always called him when he played. Now he can earn his name back as Tony Romo. He made something evidently clear during the game. And it's like, you can't, they're not stopping this. That last 2 drives Cowboys had, they ran slants. And Pickens was killing them.
Especially when they run slants out of a trip formation, because they'll have trips on one side and usually got one person that motions towards the line of scrimmage, and they got either Pickens or CD out on the other side, and he can read the defense as soon as you come in motion. He knows already where you are. He knows, do I have one-on-one at the top, or do I have a safety covering over top, or am I going to get this slant all day long?
And the worst part was the corner had inside leverage.
And he still pushed out.
Still getting inside.
So why didn't Spags come up with something, a Spags special? Usually he's able to.
You know why? You know why? Because Spags has not changed his defense in 5 years.
Yeah, but the motion was impacting them.
When it's crunch time with Spags, he is going to blitz you. and Pickens show blitz me. You know how in basketball they say, you reach, I teach. Well, in that game last night what's last night? No, Thursday night. Thursday night was you blitz, I teach.
All day. That's the last thing you want to do against the Cowboys, because they have 2 number ones, right?
Well, Pickens, the thing is, Pickens is more physical than CeeDee Lamb.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Yes, Pickens can go deep, but Pickens is more physical. So when he wants to go somewhere within them 5 yards, he's going to probably get there unless you got help there. Yeah. And that's what it just looked bad. That last couple drives and just milk out the clock.
I'm as the Cowboy fan here. I tried to tell these gentlemen last week before the Cowboys played. First, I said we beat Philly. Everybody laughed. Key, ha, ha, ha. Anybody with common sense knows that Philly's going to beat the Cowboys. Then the Cowboys win, like I said we would. And then after our episode last week, I told everyone, not only will we beat Philly, we'll be 2-0 the next time we are live on air. Oh, even more laughs. Ha, 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 ha,
ha. I went with you on that.
That's right. Apparently, something resonated with one. Chris said, wait a second, he may be on to something. So the Cowboys go and beat the two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year. Like I said that we would. So from now on, when the Cowboy picks come, let me go first, and y'all can just follow my picks so that y'all know who y'all should pick for.
So I should go ahead and say this. As football fans, for the last 6 seasons, whenever things would seem to go wrong for Kansas City, whoop, penalty, whoop, penalty. And we thought some of that was going to go happen on Thursday night. And guess what? They threw the flag.
But it was on them.
And there was a couple of times that they pushed Mahomes down in the past. A lot of this stuff is like the calls they were getting, the 50-50 calls.
He's not the golden child anymore.
Kansas City are not getting these calls anymore. And you can see the results of them not winning these close games.
Yeah.
So, kind of moving on a little bit.
Well, go ahead.
Bengals and the Ravens. I don't. Look, here's the bad part, right? This is that part where I'm going to put it all out on the line. I do not understand what the Ravens are thinking when you got a beast of a back and you're not feeding him more.
He carried the ball 10 times.
It's ridiculous.
10.
He goes down on their first drive, I think it was first or second drive, and scores a touchdown and don't get the ball no more. This is why you bring him in to do, is to run that rock.
Every time the Ravens lose.
Especially November, December, this is run the ball time.
Yes.
Every time they lose, it's because they haven't run the ball enough. I don't care if he's getting stopped at the 1 yard, 2 yards. That's early in the game. Wait till late in the fourth quarter. People don't feel like banging up against that guy late in the fourth quarter after taking
150-pound running back. No.
Exactly.
But he had already had a couple chunk plays in this game. He had a long run. He had a long reception that he had.
Yep.
They're not feeding him. And I think for whatever reason, I think they want to call plays to showcase Lamar Jackson. But if you have, it's one thing if you didn't have Derrick Henry. But when you have Derrick Henry, you're using him properly. I mean, so I go to different Facebook groups for the team sports and the NFL, and you can hear the dreaded phrase load management. So for whatever reason, I think they don't want to running Henry for that reason.
We're in November. We're in November.
It's
not
shocking
look.
to me too.
This ain't October or September where you can still be fancy and do all that stuff. It is getting cold, and you're gonna run into some rainy days, some snowy days. You got to pound the rock, and that's what's killing them right now.
He would have another 2,000 yards if it was me, because he would run the ball. He would touch the ball probably 20 to 25 times a game, and 17 and 18 of those will be handoff left, handoff right.
And look, even though they have Lamar Jackson is a true super athlete. I'm gonna say that. Lamar Jackson is a true super athlete. And when I say this is, if you run the ball, play action off a hard run, because your running back's getting you the positive yards, that defense is going to freeze. It's going to open up things that they didn't see down, that because they're coming up to stop the run. Now you opening up your Batemans, your Flowers, your Andrews, your Likely in the intermediate game and the deep game. And even if you do cover it, now you got a Lamar Jackson outside the pocket who can be even more devastating.
All right. So I got a question for you guys real quick. Is it more, who do we put the blame on? Do we put the blame on the offensive coordinator or do we put the blame on the head coach?
Coordinator.
No, this is a head coach. And here's the reason why. It's too easy to blame the coordinator. The coordinator is only going to run the script that the head coach says, yep, that's what I want to do.
No, I don't believe that.
I disagree because.
But there's a second part of this reason why it's a head coach. That Baltimore defense that we're watching, have we ever seen in the past 5 to 10 years a Ravens defense that's this bad? That's been this bad week in, week out? That's given up 30 plus every week? So if you got a bad offense and a bad defense, but you're going to sit there and say, hey, it's not the head coach, it's the offensive coordinator and defense coordinator.
Well, I'm going to say this. Well, I'm going to say this, right? A losing team fires who?
Head coach.
And when they fire head coach,
always.
Hold on. Let me finish. When they fire the head coach, guess who else will leave?
Coordinators.
Both coordinators. And here's the biggest thing.
Mr. Fire head coach don't want to fire head coach now?
What I'm saying to you is this. There's some cases where, like, your team would fire your defense coordinator, your special teams coach. It would be like one by one getting closer to the top of the problem. Would be it's your head coach is the problem, but they would fire like the running backs coach. Mm-hmm. Then they would fire like the secondary
receiver coach. And
then they would do that. But for this situation here with Harbaugh, he was a special teams guy. He was never really an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. So when you're dealing with teams that have coaches that are special teams, no, he's not really hands-on with that like that. Like Dan Campbell, he took over the offensive play calling. He's like really into the offense. There's been coaches that are defensive-minded or offensive-minded, but when you have those special team coaches, they believe in who they hire, and they say, hey, I'm giving you the keys to the offense. I'm giving you the keys to the defense. Run it. And if they don't like what you're doing, then they'll let the offensive coordinator go, defense coordinator.
Well, so I am, I coach over here in Germany, in the German leagues, and I am an offense coordinator. So you have to understand what you have as the coordinator and the head coach. And what I mean by that is you can't always put a head coach with a coordinator that is very conservative. They have to work together, defensively and offensively. They have to work together. But in this case, I think the coordinator needs to be more conservative to open up the game. I'm a very aggressive offense coordinator. So sometimes you got to actually dial me back because I'm looking at things of what I see on film. So some must have been on the film that said, hey, we need to do this. But in actuality, this is the one time they should have just ran the ball.
Right.
So the feeling that I get is inside that building, they love Lamar Jackson, and they want to see Lamar Jackson make highlight plays.
But see, look, here's the next little thought on that, right? You have Joe Burrow coming back. They already short T. Higgins, right? What does that tell you? They are fit to air it out with Jamar Chase. They're going to use Chase Daniels tokenly, and he's going to chip away on you.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters who they play, honestly. If you look at the Ravens, in my opinion, you have a suspect defense. So you want to time of possession. You want to maximize time of possession. That means you got to keep the other offense off the field.
Off the field, yes.
So
yes.
I need to run the ball even more so to our point. I got Derrick Henry in the background. I need to control the line of scrimmage. I need to control time of possession. I need to run the rock. Because that's how the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator should be playing into each other's strengths. I got a bad defense. I need to keep my offense on the field. I need time for this defense to go over what they're seeing and what they're missing. Where the offense, the head coach has to be the guy to coordinate those two.
Yeah. Joe Burrow averages like 27 points a game as a starting quarterback. That's remarkable.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about a matchup where they knew it was a division game and it was on the line. The Packers and the Lions, right? It was in Detroit. This game was on the line, and we even said it in our production meeting because they're trying to chase Chicago. Right? We'll talk about that one in a minute. But what was y'all's thoughts on that game?
Well, Detroit, Dan Campbell being Dan Campbell, going forward on fourth down when he should kick the field goal. If you look at the final part of that game, that last quarter, kick the damn field goal.
Look,
I get it. Amon-Ra's out. Kick the field goal. Take the points. Keep the game close.
But if you notice, all these coaches are doing it. Dallas did the same. No. It's not all these coaches. There's just a handful of these coaches that are doing it. You have coaches that still believe that if you get something on each drive, you won. You scored, they didn't score. You won that drive. You scored, they didn't score. You won that drive, and they believe in that.
They're using analytics a lot of times.
Yeah. The first thing I gained from that is who else picked the Packers but me?
Nobody.
Well, that's the first thing I gained from watching that game while I was getting ready to, get my eat on Thanksgiving. That was the first part. The second part, and I doubled down on it, was my fantasy teams. I sat Caleb Williams and played Jordan Love. He lit him up. Normally, Detroit plays pretty well, and they usually don't lose. When they're a good team, they usually don't lose on Thanksgiving.
The thing is, and I went back and I checked. Since Jeff Goff been in Detroit, he's only won one Thanksgiving game. He's four. He is 1-4 on Thanksgiving.
Well, I'll remember that for next year.
To the fact, that's the bad part. But some of the things like that I saw, they didn't let Jeff Goff get loose.
No,
they made sure when Amon-Ra went down, nobody realized how important that was. Amon-Ra went down, that hurt.
Well,
and no Laporta.
Yeah,
and
Laporta. Yep. If watching the game, because when they played earlier this year, I think Green Bay put it on them pretty good earlier this year.
Yeah.
My thing was Green Bay has both ends. Jared Goff was not going to have time to be able to sit in that pocket and just pick apart that secondary. And that's what I was banking on for that game.
Well, you were right.
Well, you banked on it, and you hit big on it.
Absolutely.
It pained me because my brother's a Packers fan, so I had to sit here and watch him cheering, and I'm like, oh, this is painful.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So Green Bay, as you said, Green Bay knocked them out by 2 touchdowns in the first game they played. Yeah. And of course, they went 4 on 4th down 3 or 4 times, didn't get it. And you would think if something's not working, you would change and you would adjust. Well, that's not Detroit's way. And right now, they find themselves outside the playoffs. If the playoffs were to start today, they would be outside. They wouldn't make the playoffs as of right now.
They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the playoffs.
All right, we're going to take a small break, and then we're going to go to our picks for the rest of this weekend. All right, we're back. We got referee Jay in the building.
Y'all were out of bounds last segment. I gotta keep it boom. Gotta keep it together.
I like it. All right, guys. So we're gonna start with our picks this week. Besides those NFL games on Thanksgiving, which was, I think NFL did a great job of getting those games on there. All right, so we're going to do, we got first up, we got the 49ers at the Browns. Ooh. The Shadur Sanders getting his second victory as a starter.
Oh, no. We need to let the resident 49er fan go first.
The one with the referee shirts. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so as we speak right now, the Cleveland Browns are not eliminated. And with the uncertainty of the AFC North, could they make a push for the playoffs? Okay, well, let's take a look at their Cleveland team. Defense is lights out. The quarterback position has been just so bad. They didn't have a chance to put up any type of points in these games. They have a really good running back. He's healthy. Judkins. So they're playing against the 49ers in this game. The West Coast team traveling to the East Coast or Midwest, but it's still a very, a game that is not automatic. The last time they played in Cleveland, it was a Moody missed field goal, and Cleveland beat San Francisco. And Purdy had a very big problem with that pass rush the last time they played. So for me, I'm going with Cleveland to win this game.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness.
Wasn't expecting that, was you, Chris?
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh.
So
I don't think anybody was expecting that. Go ahead.
So I'm going to go ahead and give you the weather forecast for this weekend in Cleveland. It's supposed to snow. Supposed to snow. I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the under.
But since I know I can't have that as my pick. The defense has been playing awesome for Cleveland, right? Stefanski has been put Shadur in very winnable situations, and the players were playing on a whole different level than before. Who's the head coach of that team up north? Of who? Cleveland? That other team that's playing. Who's the coach up there?
Young Shanahan, huh?
Young Shanahan. That's the name, right? I don't know a coach that
the disrespect is appalling.
I don't know a coach that don't game plan better than him, other than maybe LaFleur and McVay. Right? These are the three top good minds in the league. And you got a guy called CMC in the backfield. Juan Jennings. Who's the other receiver? And, what's the tight end name? Yeah, we ain't going to talk about it.
Kittles.
I'm going with the team up north.
So just for everybody's reference, he's referencing the 49ers. He just can't say it.
He doesn't want to say his name, say the name as a Ram fan.
Correct.
Absolutely. It might roll off his tongue and sound so good, he might convert to 49ers.
That's why he confused me when he said the team up north, right? Because I'm thinking San Francisco to Cleveland. Team up north would be Cleveland.
No, actually, it's San Francisco. San Francisco is more northern than
Cleveland?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You'd have to look at the map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jeff, what you got?
I got the 49ers, unfortunately. Like, as much as I would like to see Shadur go from, a positive first start and continue, I don't see them beating the 49ers. Even though I think their defense is going to give them fits, I think the 49ers have been around long enough. They know how to win some of these tricky games. And this is just his second start. So I think it's a trap game for the 49ers. I think they better come to play, but I'm going to take 49ers.
I'm in agreement with Chris and Jeff. I'm taking the 49ers just because I think 49ers are a more complete team. I think this is going to be a better defense than what Shadur saw last week, right? I'm hoping Shadur does do well, caveat off what Jeff said. And because then I hope it then progresses, right? So we'll see, but I'm taking the 49ers off this.
So mind you, Purdy threw 3 interceptions in the first half last game and could have thrown a 4th.
Yeah.
And they still won.
This is his second game back. And that defense is, whew. I mean, I think Garrett might get the record this year for most sacks.
You mean when he hits the record?
Yeah. I don't think that's I agree with Jeff. I don't think it's if. I think it's when. So, all right, we're going to move on. You have the rising Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts.
Those rising Houston Texans are about to be falling after this week. Colts get back to winning ways. They go and handle the Texans. That defense, I think, looked really, really good against Buffalo, but I think that looked really, really good against Buffalo based on a lot of what Buffalo was doing. So I don't expect them to have another 8 sacks. I don't expect them to force another 3 turnovers. I say the Colts win.
Okay. Look, I have to agree. All right, with you. I think the Colts are going to win. However, I don't think it's going to be a give me game, right? I just think Texans. I don't think Mills does what he did last week.
C.J. Stroud is starting.
Oh, Stroud. Mm-hmm. Well, still, even with Stroud coming back, he's going to be to me. That's even clarified even more. He's going to be rusty. Texas defense, I think,
even if Stroud was on, he'd still be underthrowing people.
I'm taking the Colts.
With an offensive line like that, you're right. You're going to underthrow people because you're not going to step in the throws.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm taking Colts. Jay, Chris, what y'all got?
I'll let you go, Chris.
Go ahead.
Houston, I think their defense is just too good. You know, the 2 edge rushers and the 2 corners, plus the safety sitting back there floating. All Stroud got to do is manage the game. I'm taking Houston.
Oh, okay.
Unlike the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator, they got Jonathan Taylor in the back. Daniel Jones has a broken leg, or there's something wrong with his leg. So I think they're going to try to rely on the run game going into this game. And then you have Pittman and you have some of the other guys that have been stepping up. And they do a lot of sideline to sideline passes with Tyler Warren. And I think they will understand, like Jeff was saying up there, well, guess what? They have a great pass rush. We're not going to have them hold on to the ball. Quick passes, run the ball. And I think Indianapolis and Jonathan Taylor will probably have 3 touchdowns. And they're going to beat Houston.
I don't know why he's doing that, but yeah, sure, go ahead. Our next game.
That's that one up.
Our next game. We have the Los Angeles Rams at the Carolina Panthers.
Sorry about that.
The Los Angeles Rams at the Carolina Panthers.
You do all that just for your team to get hung down by Carolina. Go ahead, man.
Look, I think Carolina is coming around. They're a better football team than they were last year.
Hold on, let me get in my hat. Right.
But I don't think they beat the Los Angeles Rams. I'm taking the Rams. What about you guys?
Rams, and not even a point to talk about it.
The Carolina Panthers, the run game has been pretty good. The rookie's been playing well. Bryce Young looks like he's turning the corner, but I don't think it's enough for the Rams' tough defense. And it seems like Adams and the core are really in a groove right now. And then that opens up everything else for Kyron Williams to have perfect running lanes.
Yep.
I don't see Carolina putting up enough points to beat the team plays in Levi South.
And wait. That. So, in everyone's estimation, who's a front runner for MVP this year? Because for me, quiet as kept.
What did you say, Jeff? For you, it's who?
Quiet as kept for me. It's probably Matthew Stafford right now.
The gunslinger.
No.
Trigger man.
No.
Old assassin.
Ain't no player from Hollywood ever won no MVP in the NFL. And it ain't going to happen.
You can hate all you want. I know I ain't made. That's right. I ain't have to make my pick. He already know what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to wear toilet paper on your head, that's all you, baby.
Hey, what's your record? Who got the best record in NFC?
I mean, look, yeah, sure.
And we didn't even play our scrub teams yet.
Oh.
Just saying.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
We'll see, right? Next up, the Buffalo Bills at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is going to be a matchup, right? Because Buffalo is going to they got to get back on track. New England, they're behind New England, right? But then Pittsburgh, they flustered too. So, does Aaron Rodgers, come back and actually play and beat the Buffalo Bills? It's home for him.
This goes over. This game goes over the points because neither one of them really can play defense.
No, yeah.
Right. And that's not heard of with a Pittsburgh team. That's
Parallel with the Ravens with their defenses. We're seeing uncharted times here.
Yeah.
What? The Steelers?
The Steelers and Ravens defense aren't Steelers and Raiders defense.
So, but I know why the Steelers is. I don't understand why the Ravens are. The Steelers defense, the reason is they've accelerated how quickly they want young players to get on the field. So they've dumbed the defense down. So it's not the exquisite 3-4 that we're used to seeing in years past where an outside linebacker can go from being the blitzer to, if they send the guy in motion, now he's covering the number 2 receiver. That's too complicated for newer players. So they've dumbed the defense down, and that's why their defense is struggling.
Yeah.
And we've already said there's not one thing that we can identify on Buffalo that's got issues. Right?
You see this? This is Buffalo and this is Detroit. They're the same. Disappointment. You have all this talent and you're outside looking in.
This is a hard game to pick.
It is. I'm going to Bills.
Who's the home team?
Pittsburgh's the home team.
Pittsburgh's a home team. I think Aaron Rodgers' arm's gonna, even though the Bills don't really have a pass rush, I think Aaron Rodgers, if he plays, he gonna hurt his little hand, and he's not throwing the ball down the field. So if the Bills can keep everything in front of you, they'll minimize. They'll minimize the run game. DK Metcalf limped off last week. I'm sure even if he plays, for me, the Bills, they'll have a comeback. Last week they just weren't prepared. They played out of sorts. They know they got to get things moving in the right direction. Bills gonna win.
I go with the Bills too.
All right, so we got 2 with the Bills. Jay?
So Aaron Rodgers, I don't like Jeff said, there's a good chance he won't make it out, but right now, Buffalo holds the last spot in the AFC playoff picture. Houston, Kansas City, and Baltimore right behind them. Buffalo has to win this game. But if Josh Allen keeps holding on to the ball against teams like T.J. Watt, who are great pass rushers, they're going to lose this game. And they're going to keep going forward on 4th down. And look, Buffalo is going to win this game, but there's going to be moments that's going to look very, very scary for them. But Pittsburgh's defense is the problem. I have a Buffalo winning this game.
Look, rest in peace to Matt. Matt's got family up in Buffalo, New York. So I'm going to have to take Buffalo just because all the same reasons y'all just mentioned. All right. Now we have the Denver Broncos at the Washington Commanders.
Broncos by 4.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you Broncos by 4 because you give them a big number, they don't cover it. they don't figure out. They don't figure out how to win until the 4th quarter. And that's a big problem. And my partner's a diehard Broncos fan, and he keeps screaming they win in the Super Bowl. Like I keep telling him is, y'all are getting lucky. Y'all are getting late game lucky. And if you run into the right team that's not going to let up off the gas, y'all being down 30 might be down 40. But this week, Broncos going to win. I think it's going to be closer than what the bookies are saying. I hate to say that. Mariota starting, right?
Oh.
Is he? Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels still out. I'm going with the Broncos.
It doesn't matter who's starting. Broncos. So Jane Daniels, Mariota, Tom Brady, Joe Montana. Broncos going to beat the Commanders.
All right. I'll go ahead and make it quite simple. Bo Nix will throw 3 interceptions in the first half.
Oh,
the kicker will miss 2 field goals, and they'll still be winning by 4 points at halftime against Washington. And then in the 4th quarter, Debo is going to have a kickoff return for a touchdown, and they're going to be winning by 3 points. And then with 2 minutes to go in the game, Washington will decide we're not going to cover anybody, and Denver's going to make a big play for Cortland Sutton, touchdown, Bronco win, and they rejoice about how this is the way we drew it up. That's football. There you go. I got the Broncos winning by 2.5 points.
And Jaden Daniels is out.
Okay. Well, unless Doug Williams is running out, Broncos.
Yeah, I'm taking Denver. Y'all highlighted everything, so nothing for me to talk about, right? So, I think they continue to run away with their division. So,
Who would
all
have
right.
thought England and Denver would be at the top of the AFC?
Patriots.
No clue. No clue. And I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because now we have the New York Giants at the New England Patriots.
I got Dart and the Giants.
What?
Dart's playing.
I got Dart with a concussion in the third quarter, and the Patriots take this game.
Well, if that happens, Dart will have them up by 10, and Jameis Winston will come in and catch 2 touchdown passes.
Right. Hey, but throw 3 pick sixes. So
Which one you want? Interceptions or touchdown?
that's right.
I think it's all the same. He just wants to show both teams some love. You know what? You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. It's all good.
Everybody get a touchdown.
He probably will throw the most touchdowns in the game to the other team. You know. So Jackson Dart is probably been one of the bright spots for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
He is what has been a breath of fresh air for them guys.
Yes.
And you can see his leadership showing on the field. You know, how he wants to be a winner. I don't think he's going to win this week. I think Drake May is going to keep rolling in that sophomore role he in right now. Head coaches over there putting him in great positions to function. They're letting him do what he do best. I just can't see the Giants beating the Patriots.
It's trap game for the Patriots, and they're a young team and a young quarterback. That's why.
But they have a great coach who knows this is a trap game for him. Vrabel will have that team prepared.
All right. When Stevenson fumbles twice, I'm gonna tell you.
He'll get away with twice. If he fumbles 3 times, okay then.
Okay.
Look. Is it Vrabel? Who's it? Vrabel?
Vrabel, yeah.
He's the coach. Stevenson fumbled once. He done.
Well,
He ain't playing.
he had quite a. What do you have? 3 one game?
Yeah, he
Before he
fumbled
got
a
benched?
lot in the beginning of the season. Yes, and then he got hurt, and then they went back to him after Henderson was doing work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not too keen on that. You know, so
Yeah.
I just think New England just they playing with they're inspired
Mm-hmm.
and they're not trying to just lose the game. They're out here, you know, they're like, hey, we're not no fluke. We done beat everybody that's been put up in front of us, except the first 2 teams. No, I said the first 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I'm not mistaken, and I'm gonna let the books tell me the truth. No, they lost. Out of their first 3 games, they lost 2. So that means they're 9-2 right now, right? Or 10-2.
10-2.
10-2. So they ran off 7 straight. 7 straight, and they've been beating their opponents by at least 6. You know, so and these are not no bum opponents that they're beating. They beaten Buffalo. They lost to Pittsburgh early this year. Right? They beat the brakes off Cleveland. Right? They beat the injured Bengals. And the rest of their season, right?
Yes.
They got to play Buffalo again. They got to play the Ravens, the Jets, and they got to play Miami at home. So, look, here's the funny part, right? the Miami at home game, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be in January. You tell me. Tua below 32 degrees? Yeah, no. Ain't happening. Not going to happen.
So you know the Giants, right?
Yeah.
They lost to Denver by 1, which was a very close game.
Yep.
Huh?
They ended up losing to Chicago by 4 points, which Chicago turned out to be. We didn't know what Chicago was at the time, and they lost to Chicago. They lost to Green Bay at Thriller by 1 possession, and matter of fact, they were about to score at the end of the game, and then Winston became Winston, and then they lost to Detroit by in overtime with a Gibbs run. So they're gonna play New England tough.
I ain't saying it's gonna be a blowout.
I agree.
You know, 9 out of 10, I think they're gonna cover. They're gonna cover the game. You know, the point spread, they're gonna cover that because you see it every week with them. They're not out of games. Their defense, their front four is solid, right? Their secondary, questionable. You know, if they sure up that secondary, I think they can win some games. They could possibly win that game.
The team is too young right now. So right now they taking their licks. Right now they're learning how to lose. As they progress in the next season, they'll get a new head coach. Then he'll start teaching them how to win these close games. So I actually think they're ahead of schedule between now and going into next season because I didn't expect them to be as good with Jackson Dart as they are right now.
I got breaking news. Lane
Hold
Kiffin.
on.
The Giants. No.
Hold on. Hold on.
No. He's playing.
Play it. What would happen if Lane Kiffin went to the Giants?
Oh gosh! All right,
It'd be terrible.
I haven't given my pick yet. You ready? So, the Giants' defense is overly injured right now, but yet they are constantly staying in these games. Yes. They just fired their head coach, which I don't think was completely fair. I got it right. You got to blame somebody, right? But with the amount of injuries that the Giants have, with losing the running back, with losing the defensive players and everything, right? And we're not just talking about backups. We're talking about starters on defense, okay? And then for them to constantly be competitive in all these games, I think they jumped the gun a little too early on firing him, but they did. New England, they're young. Vrabel's got Drake May and running that offense and everything. The defense is really what's clicking in New England because of Vrabel. Okay? So I'm kind of torn in between the two because, like Jay highlighted, the Giants, their losses haven't been big losses. The Patriots, when I look at their schedule, when I see the teams that they've beaten, to me, they haven't had that one victory that's like, boom, we're the top team. What? When they no, because the teams that they've beaten were like, oh, they beat Buffalo. Now New England's the top team, but then Buffalo's struggling, right? They beat Cincinnati, but without Joe Burrow, right? So they're beating these teams, but they're not playing, I don't think, the best of the teams, okay? It's going to be interesting to see how they adapt. What's going to be the key factor of this game is how well the play calling goes for Jackson Dart of the Giants. So with that, I have to take New England.
Well, with that being said, that brings us to the end of our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back on here next Saturday with the results of this weekend, plus that will be Heisman Trophy weekend. Heisman Trophy weekend. And the Army-Navy game, which that would be a good pick because that's the only game that's in town that weekend, is the Army-Navy game. So, I'm going to tell you right now, go Army, beat Navy. So you already know what my pick will be. Look, I hate to say it, I'm not going to change it. I want to thank all our guests that's been on the show. I want to thank everybody that's tuned into the show. Please comment. And if you are a veteran-owned business and you would like to get advertisement on Long Distance Playbook, make sure you hit us on the email at longdistanceplaybook@gmail.com. Thank y'all. We will see y'all next Saturday at 4 p.m. Be safe.